Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I want us to focus on Kashin Koji and his placement in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. So, the last chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex left us with Boruto re-entering the Hidden Leaf Village after we saw Boruto with Sasuke, who's stuck in a tree after he lost to some claw grimes, and Kashin Koji, who's now helping out Boruto, possibly training him as we see Boruto fight with toads, and he's learned the Uzuhiko, which takes advantage of the planet's chakra, i.e. nature energy, and as well as the flying Raijin, talking about he's not as good at his grandfather's jutsu as his grandfather, which is insane. So Kashin Koji, last we saw, narrowly evaded death at the hands of Ishiki Otsutsuki by running away with the reverse summoning jutsu. Now that we see him in 2 Blue Vortex with Boruto, that raises a bunch of questions that I'd like to see get answered in the next few chapters, if not in chapter 6. Will we see Kashin Koji accompany Boruto in Konoha this time around? How did they end up interacting, right? How did Kashin Koji find Boruto, or how did Boruto find Kashin Koji? Where did Kashin Koji escape to, and how is he alive? And are we sure Kashin Koji is 100% under the effects of Omnipotence, the memory rewrite caused by Ada, right? Now, I want to jump into this. This is obviously going to be huge speculation and theory. We don't have any of the answers to these questions yet, but let's discuss this, alright? Will we see Kashin Koji accompany Boruto in Konoha this time around? Now, I'm optimistic here. Hopefully we get answers to this in the next chapter, because Kashin Koji could easily slip into Konoha virtually undetected, right? I mean, of course there's Ada and her Senrigan, but we've seen him do it before. Since he's a clone of Jiraiya and he has the same chakra signature, he would go undetected by their sensory division, which means he wouldn't raise any alarms, there'd be no red flags. If anything, Boruto could be used as a very good distraction with all eyes on him for Kashin Koji to slip in and slip out, maybe leave some toads or gather some intel. Maybe that's the true purpose for Boruto arriving like this. Now, if Kashin Koji does appear in Konoha, we could get some good drama between Amado and Koji, since last we saw he was sent on a suicide mission by Amado to go ahead and kill Jigen and die in battle against Ishiki. However, even if Kashin Koji were to try and engage with Amado, he would still have to worry about Amado's command codes, right? Last we saw Kashin Koji and Amado together, Delta was on the scene and she got shut down by Amado's command codes, where Kashin Koji speculates maybe all of the Kara members have similar settings so that they can be shut down by Amado. And then later Kawaki gets these same command codes put on him, so even Kawaki can be shut down. So until Kashin Koji deals with the shutdown codes, confronting Amado could be very dangerous, very risky for him, which could mean Amado might be a deterrent for Kashin Koji to ever enter Konoha until we deal with this command codes problem. Hopefully Kishimoto remembers that this is a thread in the story, because not even Kawaki has had those command codes used on him. Now, where did Kashin Koji escape to, and how the hell is he alive? Now, another good question about Kashin Koji is where he decided to disappear to all this time after escaping from his near-death experience with Ishiki Otsutsuki, right? Now, considering that Kashin Koji disappeared using a toad reverse summoning jutsu, it makes the most sense that Kashin Koji would have returned to the land of the toads, Mount Myoboku. Here's the thing. Why is Kashin Koji alive? Better yet, better than alive. How is this dude walking around? Now, if Kashin Koji did indeed actually retreat back to Mount Myoboku, it is possible that the toads could have aided in his recovery. So, Mount Myoboku is the only place in the Naruto world where this special toad oil can actually stay in its liquid form. Now, this toad oil is actually used to help pull in nature energy, or senjutsu chakra. It's used in the training to become a sage, to initially draw you into being able to feel the nature energy. Now here's the thing. Senjutsu chakra is stated to be able to boost your regeneration and recovery speeds, right? It makes you heal faster. Considering that not only Kashin Koji is a perfect sage, which means he's able to already enter sage mode and draw in Senjutsu chakra, but he's also a cyborg, right? He's also created by Amado, meaning he is given a latent regen factor automatically, similar to the other Kara members. This comes from Kawaki's statements. All of the Kara members have a regeneration factor, they all have a core, they all have this nanomesh technology that Amado's developed, right? Now, Kashin Koji should be no exception. Now, if you add his already scientific augmented body with a regen factor, his ability to take in Senjutsu chakra, right, also boosting his regen factor, if you put him in a toad oil bath in his last seen condition, which helps him draw in nature energy, it's very possible that the toads might have been able to help Kashin Koji recover and heal to the point where, I don't know, if you want to go to the extreme, he grows new legs, right? So Kashin Koji, maybe the toads in Mount Myoboku with their toad oil, their baths, and his already latent healing factor, maybe they sped up his recovery, right? Now, the main thing I want to talk about is, are we sure that Kashin Koji is actually under the effects of omnipotence, okay? Now, obviously, we have characters in the story like Sarada and Sumire who are immune to Ada's use of omnipotence. And then we have characters like Amado and Sasuke who are affected and yet somehow are aware that their memories were rewritten, that their memories were tampered with. Is it possible that Koji could fit into this list of characters that are somehow immune or are aware? So it's most likely possible that Kashin Koji is after Boruto because he actually is under the effects of omnipotence and he believes that Boruto is Kawaki. But what if he isn't affected by omnipotence, similar to Sarada? Or rather, what if he has some sort of significant evidence that's made him align with Boruto, similar to Amado, right? Now here's the thing. If Kashin Koji isn't affected by omnipotence, then it may have something to do with Mount Myoboku. Mount Myoboku, on top of being a special place, may actually possess special properties. So, from what we can tell, right, Mount Myoboku seems to exist in its own special dimension since you can only reach it by having the toads guide you there, or it's protected by some sort of powerful barrier since you can't just walk into the mountain range, right? Which is not only shown by its inaccessibility, but it's also shown by its immunity, or appear to be immunity, from the infinite Tsukiyomi, right? Big claim, I know, but here's the thing. We never actually saw any of the toads end up in the Genjutsu. Or even better, we never even saw the roots of the Divine Tree reach the space of Mount Myoboku, right? In the anime or in the manga, there's no depiction of anywhere in the Toad's realm being affected by this, right? And if you didn't see it, there's a good chance it didn't happen. Not to mention that the Naruto anime covered Kaguya's use of the infinite Tsukiyomi back in Hagoromo's day, and the Toads were some of the only creatures who knew of these events. They seemed to be unaffected by the infinite Tsukiyomi cast by Kaguya. So in the Naruto anime, not only did the Toads seem unaffected by what could have possibly been one of the first Shinjutsu ever used on the planet, but they even have a device capable of recording the events of Kaguya's infinite Tsukiyomi, the Memory Stone. Alright? So maybe omnipotence did affect the area of Mount Myoboku. I mean, even Code was affected while in a completely separate dimension, right? But does any of that matter when the Toads have access to the Memory Stone, a special stone used by the Toads to watch historical events take place on the Earth, right? They can look through the Earth's history and through events happening in real time, almost like they have a Senrigan. This is actually insane, right? I used to theorize that Amado got his hands on this in order to create Ada's Senrigan before we learned about the whole Shibai thing. But we've learned about this device in the Naruto anime during the Hagoromo life story filler segment, which technically makes the device a filler device, right? However, these same filler episodes also drop little hints and seeds to canon events in Boruto. These same episodes set up Momoshiki, Kinshiki, and Urashiki's arrival for the Boruto story, with Urashiki specifically making his way into Kishimoto's original script for the Boruto movie, meaning he's indeed canon to the story, which means his appearance here in these episodes is actually canon, right? Now, he was only removed from the movie due to time constraints, but he was later added to the anime as a canon character. More than that even, the Memory Stone is even seen in the Naruto manga. It's seen behind and above Gamamaru, the same Elder Toad Sage who gave Jiraiya his prophecy. They even used this to watch Naruto fight Pain in Konoha from Mount Myoboku. So this is actually insane, right? This Toad Sage, Gamamaru, is the same Toad Sage who gave Jiraiya his prophecy, letting him know that one of his students will save the world, right? And is the same Toad that told Hagoromo that some blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid would befriend the Biju and bring them all together again, right? So, just like how Amado came to the conclusion that his memories were tampered with at some point due to significant evidence, perhaps the Toad Sages and their Memory Stone can use it to form the same opinion, the same reaction, that their memories must have been altered at some point, because the Memory Stone can show them Ada and Kawaki casting Omnipotence. They can show Kawaki kidnapping Naruto into the Daikokuten, and they could show Kashin Koji what truly happened between Ada, Kawaki, and even Naruto, which would provide him with a significant form of evidence into aiding Boruto. So in conclusion, we see Kashin Koji accompany Boruto, right? Will we see him accompany him this time around in Konoha? Hopefully we see him, right? Because we still have to watch out for those command codes, and it might be an actual deterrent from him returning to Konoha or joining Boruto in Konoha, because Amado's there and could shut him down. Is Kashin Koji gonna have robot legs? How is he still alive? Considering Kashin Koji's status as a cyborg from Kara, and his status as a perfect sage, and possibly having connections to Mount Myoboku and their sacred toad oils, it's possible they could have done some MacGuffin to have him regenerate his lower half and stuff, right? We know he takes after Jiraiya, so losing that manhood could be detrimental to his confidence. You know what I'm saying? And are we sure Kashin Koji is actually under the effects of Omnipotence? Well, technically, whether he is or isn't doesn't even matter, since we know for a fact he's teamed up with Boruto. But why he's teamed up with him is a whole nother story, right? Did Kashin Koji actually retreat to the land of the toads, Mount Myoboku? And is Mount Myoboku somehow protected from Shinjutsu, like Omnipotence and the Infinite Tsukiyomi, since we never saw the roots of the Divine Tree or any of the toads actually fall under the Genjutsu, and we later know that they know all about Kaguya's use of it, right? Especially a land harboring a bunch of nature energy, you would imagine Kaguya would suck that place dry. So, is it possible that they're protected from Shinjutsu somehow? Or will Boruto and the Two Blue Vortex manga canonize the usage of the Memory Stone, being a stone that records the historical events of the Earth, and have that be the significant evidence Kashin Koji uses to come to the realization that he needs to aid Boruto, because there's Shinju Clawgrimes out there, Ishiki's probably plotting some sort of revival, can't trust Amado, and everybody has turned their back on Boruto. Naruto's in the Daikokuten. Crazy stuff is happening, and the Memory Stone has recorded all of it, right? Now, obviously, this is all purely theory and speculation, which means nothing is confirmed yet. But if you enjoyed this discussion and these kinds of conversations, then consider subscribing for more of my future site Shinjutsu. Comment down below what you think. Is it possible that Kashin Koji is going to join Boruto and he's possibly immune to Omnipotence in some form or fashion? Does Kashin Koji know everything that happened? Does he know the absolute truth thanks to the Memory Stone or the toads or whatever, bro? I've been your man, the Grass Ninja, alright? I'm gonna leave it to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace.